Welcome back to Canadian Justice, where we're discussing a award that the Canadian Constitution Foundation is going to be giving out for the worst censorship law in a Canadian city. Now, Manit, you've been working on this project using artificial intelligence and our own sort of sweat manpower to go through these hundreds of bylaws and find the worst examples of censorship in these city levels. Maybe you can tell us about the top three worst offenders that you have found so far. Which ones are in the running for this award?
Yeah, sure. So there are a few cities that really stand out. In Chateauguay, Quebec, it's actually legal to insult a municipal politician or employee, even if you're just posting on social media. So criticizing City Hall on Facebook could technically get you in trouble. This kind of rule goes way beyond council decorum and really into private speech. Then there's Port Coquitlam, BC, where the city bans political meetings in public parks. That means you can't gather with your neighbors to talk about local issues in a public space. It's a really clear restriction on peaceful assembly and free expression. North Bay, Ontario, council members themselves are prohibited from speaking disrespectfully about the Queen, the Governor General, or any member of the royal family. It's a rule that really sounds like it was written in 1910 and not something that belongs in a modern democracy. These kind of bylaws are just outdated or quirky. They're really chilling public discourse in serious ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should be allowed to criticize your municipal councilors and the king. And in fact, I have done both things. I guess I better stay away from those two particular towns. Uh, Josh, what are three of the front runners that you have found going through these municipal bylaws?
Yeah, so one that I jumped out at me is from Caledon, Ontario, and there, in addition to, the royal family, not insulting them, you're not allowed to insult or even disrespect any politician, and it specifies any federal, provincial, regional councillor, any council member, any employee of the town. So essentially, nothing insulting or disrespectful against politicians
Did they
generally, which
define
is
what would constitute disrespect?
I imagine they do. I don't know the definition off the top of my head, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you're allowed to disrespect politicians, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's a real privilege that we have living in a country like this, that we are able to criticize and show disrespect to our political leaders if that's how we feel about them.
and frankly, they often deserve a little bit of disrespect for some of the speech restriction bylaws they
Yeah, I
put
couldn't agree
forward.
more. So what's your second example, Josh?
Okay, so my second one, and this one could come from a number of cities. It's not just Ottawa that has it, but a few cities, including Ottawa, don't let you draw or paint murals on your property unless they are city approved murals. And in Ottawa, it says the mural has to depict the culture, history, or visions of artistic expression in a tasteful and positive manner. So essentially, the city council itself gets to decide whether or not you can put a piece of art or even a political message on your property.
So if I have a building that hosts a coffee shop and I want a mural with, coffee beans or angel wings or whatever it is, it has to be the city is the one who decides what art I can put on the
Yeah.
building I own.
So the city is going to be the one that decides. In some cases, a few cities have these bylaws, and they'll have like a committee of artists who will get to decide. And that's just ripe for abuse because artists are going to have their own opinion about what counts as a nice vision for the city or the culture or whatever. And like I said, Ottawa is not the only one. Brantford, Ontario also has one, and it has specific rules about the content of what murals can be, and it has to depict Brantford, for example, in a positive light. And that's just not what art is. That's not what expression is, and the government shouldn't be
And that's also so
regulating that sort of
subjective.
thing.
These are all
Yeah.
aesthetic standards and they're also subjective. Like what portrays Brantford positively? That can change. People's opinions on that can change.
Yeah, and I think what it means is, what the city council wants you
Yeah.
to put in your mural.
Okay, last example, Josh.
Okay, so my last example is from Langley, BC, and this is another restriction on what councillors themselves can say. It says that they can only talk about council decisions in a positive manner. What if they disagree with the decision? And it also says that on social media, they're banned from promoting misinformation. And again, what is misinformation? It's, you know, whatever the other city councilors decide, you know, isn't true or that they don't want to hear. So that one goes way too far.
These are just completely shocking to me, and I think they will be to so many Canadians. So, wow, guys, thanks so much. We've got to go to break, but I want to talk about this when we're back.